Hello, dear. My name is Elisa Tolosa. I have been producing different educational lessons and uploading it to you on my YouTube channel. This one is video number 103. That means I have about 102 videos that I've already prepared and uploaded for you on my YouTube channel. Okay, in this video and the videos that are coming soon or the subsequent videos are all about competence-based training approach. When you talk about competence-based training approach, it is all about technical and vocational education and training for that matter. So there are other issues related videos that I'm going to present for you. Some of these are, let me read for you. It is a say competence-based training approach, competence-based occupational standard development methods, DACAM approach, SCCI approach, occupational training standards, OS to curriculum conversion system, competence-based training assessment tools and development, vocational and career counseling, cooperative training, about in company training, qualification framework, development, TV policy and strategy, among many others. So the reason why I read all these things, or particularly all these issues, are just to invite you to follow my YouTube and pursue it, the other videos. So in order to get full-fledged about competence-based training approach. Now let me just directly move to presenting the contents that I prepared to you in this video. Okay, the overall purpose of these training sessions, not only these training sessions, others that I've already articulated for you, is to provide insight to TV developers, TV administrators, and instructors on the design, delivery, and assessment of competence-based training programs. Now, what does competency means? In video number 101 also I've explained it, what competence and competency means. Of course, at that time we have seen it from educational perspective, from academic perspective, but now we see it from technical and vocational education and training perspective, from TVET perspectives. What does competency means? A competency is defined as a demonstrated ability to apply knowledge, skills, and attitudes in order to successfully complete work activities to a defined standard or performance as expected in a real life workplace environment. What does this mean? We are going to see each of them one by one. Okay, when we talk about competency, it is about applying the knowledge. It is not about only acquiring the knowledge or skills. It is also about applying the knowledge and the skills in order to successfully complete work activities to a defined standard. That means there are standards. That means there are standards that are developed. In order to implement competence-based training, first standard should be set, standard should be developed. In one of my videos, I've already prepared and uploaded a YouTube video on these issues, what standard means, how it is developed. So I would like you to invite you to refer to that. So standards should be developed first of all. It is based on the standards that training materials are also developed. In that training materials, the knowledge, skills, and attitudes do appear. That's all. So competence, when you say, it is the demonstration of ability, the demonstration of knowledge, the demonstration of skills, the demonstration of attitudes that are required in order to perform something based on the standard already set. In the workplace, by the way, competence-based training means for work, nothing else. Not to understand, not to show that I have a master's degree or first degree or diploma or certificate. No, not to show, but to have capacity and ability to perform something. To perform something, when you say to perform what the world work requires, for that matter. Okay, if I say that this much, what does knowledge, skills, and attitude means? One has to know. As educator, this is very important terms. These three are very important terms because education, when you say education or learning, when you say it is a means of imparting knowledge, skills, and attitude. So, what does knowledge means? What does skill mean? What does attitude mean? All of you should know. Here, I will leave this place for you to read it because there are plenty of notes regarding these issues, and also I've even developed and already uploaded it on my YouTube channel regarding what knowledge means, specifically what skills are, types of skills, for example, soft skill, hard skills, types of attitude, how attitudinal change are brought about, and the like. So I would like you to refer to that place. Anyways, the reason why it is put here is because when you talk about competency-based training, it is we are talking about acquiring this knowledge, acquiring skills, acquiring the necessary attitude that help us to perform specific tasks according to the standard set, according to the standard set by employers, according to the standard set by industry. That's why. Okay, now, when we come to another issue, the next issue, competency-based training. Competency-based training is a structured training and assessment approach that allows individuals to acquire the skills and knowledge to perform simple or complex tasks to a specific standard. Yeah, look, the colored terms. It is structured training. It is structured training. It doesn't have hazard. It doesn't have hazard done. It is assessment. There are assessment always that go along with standard. Standard should be developed based on standard. The curriculum or training materials will be developed or derived from the standard set by industry. Of course, for that matter, the curriculum in competency-based training, the standard are developed by employers or industry, but the curriculum are derived from the standard by teachers or trainers. There are also what you call it assessment. The assessment tools are prepared by the industry. Of course, for that matter, it can be industry and training institution together. They can also, for that matter. But the industry, it is better if the industry assess the trainees whether, in order to check whether they are competent enough or not, or whether they are competent enough or not yet competent. There are some terms that we use. There are terms that we use theoretically, when you say from TVET perspectives. Another issue is specific term. So these are the very important things. Of course, doing this is not so simple as I am telling you. By the way, I'm practicing to this. So in my other videos, I'm going to do how to do it, how to develop assessment tools development, how to develop occupational standard, competency standard, how to develop curriculum based on the occupational standard training materials, what we call it TTLM, specifically in Ethiopia it's named TTLM. TTLM, when you say teaching, training, and learning materials, TTLM is common. Anyways, all these are what I've passed through. Because of this, I'll show you in the other videos regarding these issues, how this is developed practically. Okay, having said this, another thing that we should talk about or discuss about when we talk about computer-based training is it focuses one in the performance of tasks and duties an individual should do, the conditions in which they are to perform these tasks and duties, the standard which they are to perform. Yeah, one has to know or be familiar with these terms such as occupation, job, duties, tasks. Okay, for the time being, occupation is the accumulation of jobs. Different jobs make up occupation. When you talk about job, it is accumulation of duties. Different duties or many duties together form job. When you talk about duties, it is the accumulation of tasks. In other words, these tasks are the broken down parts of duties. So many tasks form duties. Under the tasks, there are also what you call is activities. There are also what you call is steps. All these should be developed by professionals. There are different approach of occupational analysis. Some of them are DACAM analysis, occupational analysis, occupational mapping, occupational standard. There are many ways that you do. Honestly speaking, what I promise you is that I'm going to develop educational video that helps you to develop it practically. By the way, once again, I would like to say that when you develop something, you should not develop without being professional, without being certified, without being competent in even doing so. Because the reason why I say is from my very experience, I see many educational materials are developed by non-professionals, by those people who are para-professional for that matter. Para-professional means the professionals that are not full-fledged. Really, this is what always I'm worried about, honestly speaking. What I experienced for many years. That's why. That's why our education system, I can say, fail from time to time. The failure, the failure for education system. One, there are many reasons. One is participating in policy making, from policy making up to implementing educational system by non-professionals. Anyways, this should be stopped somewhere. And now onwards, we have to have knowledgeable people, practitioners who should do this. Specifically, TVET. TVET is prone to this. It is susceptible to this. Susceptible and prone to say most TVT educational systems, I tell you, that are passed through, including adult education, including general education for that matter, that to my knowledge have been prepared by paraprofessionals. So, anyways, it should be done strictly. I tell you that it should be done by educationalists, not only about education. When we see about other workers also, other professions, the professionals do. We have to leave the work for professionals, the work for real workers, the work for those who have knowledge, skills, full skills that enable them to work that space work. Okay, having this it. So the reason why I mentioned this is when you talk about competency-based training, this is what should be underlined and should be put into practice. Okay, the next one is competency-based education is an outcome-based learning system for developing curricula. Training assessment is centered around learners achieving certain competencies according to clearly defined criteria and undertaken within workplace conditions. That is what I've already talked about. So that means it should be outcome-based learning. Outcome-based learning means at the end, the trainee, after completion courses, he or should do something specifically. He has to produce something. Outcome-based means he has to produce project. For example, he has to do some kind of project and show us or demonstrate that he is competent enough. Otherwise, you have to get back. You have to go to the school or the training institutes and relearn again. Another issue is once students are able to demonstrate the mastery of a given competency, they then proceed to the next unit. Yeah, these are what you call unit of competencies. In one of my videos, I've shown you what unit of competency means. Unit of competency, it means accumulation of group or a total of units of competency make occupation. So unit of competency, one unit of competences. So one, in order to pass to the next unit, he has to pass the prior unit. He has to pass, when they say he has to be competent enough. How? By measuring, or by assessing he or him or her, and assure that or certify that she or he is competent enough, or whether he or she has a mastery skill in that specific use of competence. So it is after that that you can pass or move to the next step. Another issue that should be taken into consideration is characteristics of CBT skill. When you talk about characteristics of CBT, competencies are derived from an occupational analysis that has been verified by practitioners and endorsed by industry. Yeah. Okay, competencies are developed by industry, by the way, based on the labor market, by employers for that matter. In one of my videos, I've shown this one, so I would like you to refer that. Another issue that when we talk about occupational standard for that matter is this one. Theoretical and practical training sessions are shaped around the list of agreed knowledge skills that is as per competency standard. Yeah. In the competency standard, there are the knowledge, skills, and attitudes required. The industry are expected to put in the occupational standard what the knowledge, skills, and attitudes required one to perform something, one to be competent enough in specific work activities. So that should be agreed upon. The other one is the participants program completion is based on the satisfactory mastery of all competencies as in the real workplace environment. Yeah. Standards are developed based on the labor market demand. Labor market demand means it might be national labor market demand or regional labor market demand or local labor market demands. And also based on the training need assessment, what you call it. But when you talk theoretically, it is better to use labor market demand. That is very important term. Okay, in one of my videos, I promise you that I'll show you or I'll present what labor market demand means, what you call is the kind of tracer study also as well. So on these issues, I will promise that I will prepare and develop what they mean and how they are developed for that matter. Okay, because it's very important for you to get full-fledged knowledge and skills about TVT and competence-based learning. Well, now we move to principles to be followed. There are different principles that should be followed in order to implement competence-based training. One is the selection of occupations is based on the thorough understanding of the labor market. Yeah, that is what I've already mentioned, so I don't repeat it again. Another is theoretical and practical training sessions. Use adult learning strategies and learning center principles. Yeah, when you talk about competence-based learning, one, in order to design it, he or she should have the knowledge of adult learning. There are adult learning principles. Okay, regarding this, I have already developed a training material or educational video regarding this. It is about 2 videos, I remember, so I want you to refer back. I prepared it in English language, so I want you to refer to my video as well. Not necessarily to my video for that matter, by the way. When you talk about adult learning, you can Google. When you Google, plenty of knowledge. The only thing that is expected from you is to select what to read and also to understand it. And this is why nowadays, thanks to technology, there are plenty of knowledge, numerous of knowledge, in abundance in the internet for that matter. The only thing that is required or expected from you is to Google it and read it. Your English to read it, your English to understand it. No need one to tell you what to do. Thanks to technology, I tell you. For example, let me tell you one thing, by the way. Once I had no skill how to make a necktie, cravat, for that matter, in Ethiopia, cravat, something, a necktie. So immediately I got into Google and at that time, or in YouTube, how to make a necktie. About 10 or 12 different types of necktie making that I've found there. So, no need to ask others for help. Simply you have to Google. In order to Google, of course, you have to have prior knowledge. For instance, you have to understand English language for that matter. Especially you use or youngster or young people, please try to acquire knowledge in English. Your knowledge in English so that you can Google and understand things easily. Okay, another issue that should be considered is competencies to be learned include skills that relate to dealing with malfunctions to the standard of real workplace environment. Yeah, malfunctions, when you say, there are what you call it tasks. When you talk about tasks, there are kind of simple task. There are contingency tasks. We call it contingency tasks for that matter. I've shown this in one of my videos, types of tasks. There are about 4 types of tasks. Simply a simple task, management task, contingency task, job role task, something like that. So there are different types of tasks. So one of these is to adjust malfunctions. Adjust to malfunction means contingency tasks. So things might not go straightforward every time. There are malfunctions. So a competent worker should adjust that malfunctions accordingly. In order to do so, he or she should learn or practice. So that should be included also. That is what it deals about it. Another issue when you talk about this issue is training is comprised of flexible modular structure. Yeah, with a self-paced approach to the curriculum design. Yeah, still we didn't get into curriculum for that matter. Anyways, when you talk about training, the training should be modular. Modular training approach means it is after completion and passing it the requirement successfully that one moves forward to the next step, nothing else. The module, when you talk, they have their own starting and ending. By itself is a competence, or one can get work only by learning or getting training on one module. For example, when you talk about mason, concrete work, there is what you call is chiseling. One can be only chiseler. Chisel is not by itself occupation; it is simply a competence. So chiseling, if one passes chiseling, then he might pass to painting, something like that. Anyways, when you talk on modular, it has its own read. What modular approach of learning, modular approach of curriculum. When you Google, you can get more detailed than I've tried to tell you here. The content of theoretical knowledge is not redundant. Content remains relevant and essential and not repeated across the curriculum. Okay, this is a very important critical issue that one should understand. Knowledge is not redundant when you say, yeah, this is a common mistake. Look, I've said that in competence-based training, curriculum are developed from, or curriculum is developed from occupational standard or competency standard. Well, in competency standard, different activities might appear redundantly because in different competencies, unit of competencies, different activities might appear again and again. But in curriculum, we should not do that way. Those systematically, those redundant activities or tasks or jobs for that matter, or duties or elements should be gathered together, and a kind of course can be developed for them. A kind of course, when you say one course, that means the knowledge or the content should not redundantly appear in a curriculum again and again. Of course, one of the means of retaining knowledge and skills is to do something again and again. Repetition is very important for that matter. So if repetition is important, the first thing that we should know is we have to know whether words repeating that specific knowledge is important or not. We have to first of all analyze if that task is difficult, if that task is so important, if that task is frequently appear in the workplace. We have to DIF, what we call DIF. DIF means difficulty, importance, and frequency. We have to check about these parameters regarding one specific competence or tasks. So that is the place where we put it redundant. redundantly in the curriculum also as well. So that is a common mistake. So we have to understand that things again and again. Another issue is this one: benefits of CBT approach. Benefits of CBT approach. When I say it appears here, I think rather than presenting these things for you, it is better I will leave you to read it by yourself so that you can understand it. What you are going to do is compare the benefits of players. Of course, CBT has many benefits. The benefit for employers, the benefits for trainees, they have also benefit for training institutions for that matter. So what you are going to do is simply read it and attempt to understand it. I'm sure that you understand it simply because it's not so difficult as such. It's not so complicated as such. If only if you have begun watching my YouTube video 101, 102. This is 103. If that is the case, these things are not difficult for you, so that I leave it for you to read and understand it. There are related videos here, by the way. I've already mentioned to you. These are related videos. Not only these videos, but also other videos that I've already developed and prepared and developed for you and uploaded on my YouTube channel. Some of them are about to be uploaded because I've already prepared. Some of them are about to be prepared or not yet prepared for that matter, but I promise for you that I'm going to prepare it within the following 2 or 3 weeks anyways. Another issue that is this is all about me. It means my contact information. If you want a kind of consult, a counseling coach or mentor, I'm available. You can get me through this contact information. Another thing is professional skills. Okay, I'm versatile in my occupation and educational background for that matter. So these are all my professional skills. Practically, I have experience on doing this and the like. This is just to show you who I am for that matter. Thank you very much for staying with me. We will meet in the other videos that or related video for that matter. What I would like from you is to subscribe it if it's for the first time when you see this, so that other videos can approach you simply, and also share for others or inform others so that they can utilize these materials. Thank you very much. Bye bye.